Thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the northern mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this very chilly Friday morning, September 16th, 2011, with Friday's edition of the video forecast discussion. And we'll go ahead and start things out this morning bright and early at 7 o'clock on Friday here in New Jersey with some very chilly air. Notice these temperatures here in the low 40s across many areas, low to mid 40s in the northern sections, as well as central and southern sections as well, especially in the Pine Barren areas. And some temperatures well here now, just at 40 or even in the upper 30s across extreme Sussex County in northern New Jersey. That's how chilly the air is at 7 o'clock this morning. And just before or slightly after sunrise this morning, this is exactly where the temperatures were in the upper 30s to low and mid 40s to around 50 in the New York City metropolitan area, and also down around the coastal sections and the barrier islands here along coastal Ocean County and Cape May counties in New Jersey this morning. Also, to give you an idea of some of the other chillier air, which is basically anywhere from the low to the mid 40s with some 30s mixed in across Vermont and New Hampshire. Even in portions of upstate New York this morning, temperatures right around the lakes there in the upper 30s to the mid 40s, generally everywhere across Pennsylvania too, and down through Ohio and up towards Michigan. Taking a look at the satellite water vapor composite here, here's our cold front off the mid-Atlantic coast. And the winds here are overlaid on the satellite imagery as well. First, we'll go over them. They're quite gusty just south over the Carolinas and points south and along the coast. We have some stronger gusts still across the Poconos with a downslope northwest wind, and those should be abating during the morning hours and into the afternoon. So generally, also what you're seeing here is a lot of cirrus cloud cover. This is a water vapor imagery, so this shows the amount of water vapor, not necessarily water itself or clouds, but actually water vapor produces the clouds, and this is a high level cloudiness that is being produced on the water vapor imagery this morning. And this is shearing eastward from an upper level disturbance, a short wave back over the upper Midwest. So today may feature a little bit more cloud cover than we anticipated, especially of the high variety, but no precipitation because the mid and the lower levels of the atmosphere all the way down to the surface with this building area of high pressure is very, very dry air. Now, national charts here now from IntelliWeather shows the ridge of high pressure over Lake Michigan and Lake Ontario and Lake Superior, and this huge ridge of dry bone air and the upper level trough here across the upper Great Lakes. Notice the pinks and the whites here, very chilly air. Temperatures 41 in southeastern Canada, just south of Hudson's Bay, 45 in Montreal and Toronto, 50 in Chicago this morning, 38 at Winnipeg, 50 in New York City and Washington, D.C. And this is going to be a general rule for the next couple of days until the air mass begins to moderate. But there could be some surprises in store too. We'll talk about those right now. And before I get into the forecast charts, let's look at the infrared satellite data for the eastern United States. Here's Maria here off the coast of the northeastern United States, North Atlantic, moving further into the North Atlantic towards Scandinavia, and points towards Europe. And here's our cold front now off the mid-Atlantic coast, and the upper level winds here coming in from the west and from the northwest here. We have a bit of an upper level trough here across New York State, and in these brighter blues here, this is indicative of a short wave that is shearing out. These are high cirrus clouds that are shearing out across the upper Midwest and the southern Great Lakes, and that's going to be moving in our direction today. So we could get some filtered sunshine as well from these high level clouds across the region. And starting out with the forecast maps for today, this is for this afternoon. We find the ridge of high pressure centered right over the Great Lakes with ridging all the way across northern New England down through the mid-Atlantic states. We have an inverted trough, a little bit of a disturbance here across the Tennessee and Mississippi Valley, and we're finding some light rain showers and some high cloudiness across these regions of western Virginia. And as we get through the day and into tonight, we find the ridge of high pressure centered now over New York, and ridging back we find a north to northeast wind developing. And as the ridge of high pressure develops that wind northeastward off the ocean, some of the high cloudiness in this inverted trough will continue to show and dictate some mid and high level clouds, but the air mass at the mid and low levels is very dry. in the sub-base cloud area. So we're not really anticipating any rain, but maybe some clouds, some high and mid-level cirrus clouds across the region, especially over southern New Jersey, the Delmarva region, but most of the rain should still be shunted well to the south of our immediate forecast area. As we get into the day on Saturday morning, again, high pressure still in control. Cresting here, we have a generally light north to northeast wind. Still that inverted trough and an area of low pressure trying to develop along the coast of the surface here down through the central and mid-Atlantic region. Some of the light rain and could even get as far north as Delaware. Especially southern portions of the Delmarva region into the mid-Atlantic region, and that's being denoted on the ADA, the WRF model, and to some extent the GFS too, and we'll get into that in a minute. But we're really expecting mostly just generally dry weather, but we could have more cloud cover around here, especially Saturday and Saturday night, and that would be at the mid and high level. Again, Saturday night showing a little bit of that trough and surface low developing here, a northeast wind. So we could have air and water piling up here. So tidal departures along the mid-Atlantic coast are going to be quite higher than expected because of this pressure gradient between the low that's trying to form here off the Carolina coast. This little bit of this inverted trough here and high pressure centered right over northern New England. And all this in combination is producing an east to northeast wind across our area and all the way down through the coast. So the water is going to be piling up along the coastline, and also the air is situated over the ocean. So we're going to have an influx of moisture there and some mid and high level clouds, and we could have some light rain or even drizzle across portions of the Delmarva right down through the northern mid-Atlantic coast, but still expecting generally fair weather despite the cloud cover here on Saturday night and early Sunday morning across the northern mid-Atlantic. And it could time to time could shear out, and we could see mostly sunny skies in spots, especially across northern New Jersey into New York City and the Catskill area and the Hudson Valley. But points further south across central and southern New Jersey could wind up being a little bit more cloudier than anticipated, but not still expecting any precipitation. And if we did get some, it would be mainly confined to southern New Jersey. But again, the sub-cloud base layers are very dry, so probably any water that's falling through those clouds would probably just evaporate it before it reached the ground. And of course, we'll keep a monitor on all of that and any additional changes that may be needed to the forecast over the next couple of days as well. But we're really not anticipating any severe weather, so we're not going to show you those charts from the Storm Prediction Center. What we will show you is the 6 to 10 day temperature and precipitation outlooks from the Hydrological Meteorological Prediction Center, actually, that does these. And this is for the period for September 21st through the 25th, and this was made yesterday, finding a better than average chance of above normal temperatures with the ridging here across the upper Midwest, shearing out in towards the Great Lakes, but this too may have a tendency to be a little cooler from the Great Lakes into northern New England. Generally near normal to below normal temperatures across the mid-Atlantic states and all the way into the southeast and extending across even portions of eastern Texas as well. Look at western Texas continues in the heat, and eastern Texas probably just about normal at this point too. And the precipitation not really showing any signs here for drought-busting conditions here across the deep south, especially in Texas, showing above normal chances of precipitation with upper-level troughing here and disturbances moving through the flow. For the mid-Atlantic and the northern New England states through the Great Lakes, and generally below average with generally dry conditions expected across the Intermountain West all the way down through the central and southern plains. As we get through the 8 to 14 day outlooks, again generally below normal temperatures here across the eastern United States, and this is for September 23rd through the 29th, above average chances of temperatures across the upper Midwest. What for precipitation, you ask? Above normal again. We have deep upper level trough setting up in the means across the upper Midwest and New England, and that means generally cooler weather and above average chances of precipitation due to frontal systems and or short waves moving through the flow. Large amount of ridging across the Intermountain West all the way through the Central Plains indicates very dry and below average precipitation mean there. So that's about going to wrap it up for this Friday. You have a wonderful weekend. We'll join you again with the next video broadcast discussion on Sunday. We normally don't do these on Saturday, so we'll have the next one for you on Sunday. Be safe, be warm, carry a sweater out there, enjoy the nice, fine early start to fall. and get outside and do some much needed cleanup, unfortunately, from what was left over from Irene and Lee. And of course, if you're not suffering from that, then of course just get out there and make it a great weekend. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, your source, Northern New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. We'll be back with you again on Sunday morning.